The third event of the 2022 NXL season is here. With all the chaos of the past few months, it carries a weighted question. Who really is the best team in professional paintball? Is it San Diego Dynasty, whose 3-tournament tear ended with a missed Sunday in Texas? Or is it Tampa Bay Damage, whose dramatic win in a one-on-one triple overtime has catapulted the legendary squad back into title contention? Or Edmonton Impact, whose roster is again stacked with superstars and ranked first overall? But though these three teams are the frontrunners, a sea of contenders are lined up right behind them. The season has just begun. New heroes could arise. 4 more events remain, and pro paintball has never been this competitive at its highest level. Tune in as the best paintball players in the world battle for gunfighting supremacy at the Mid-Atlantic Major. It's about to go down, only on GoSports.com. Welcome here, 2022 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major. Matty Marshall here with Rich Telford. Third stop on the tour this year. It is a cloudy, overcast morning. It's going to be hot and humid this afternoon. First up is going to be Houston Heat taking on Revo, along with AC Diesel and DMG. So kind of top of the division, lower part of the division we're going to see here in this first one.
Closely matched.
Yeah,
right?
but closely matched. Let's just start with Heat and Revo. Heat is obviously one of the big favorites out here. They haven't won a tournament since the second event last year, but they look like they basically could win any tournament that they play in. I mean, they're a top team, but they are missing Fedorov, and they have no Chad Boucher here as well, too.
Which, it hurts them, but it doesn't hurt them that bad because the roster is so deep. I mean, obviously those are 2 best players in the world, but when you got 8 other best players in the world, you're okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Revo has just been be forced to do roster roulette.
That's the big question with Revo right now, is how long is it going to take for that new squad? Because they still have a bunch of talented guys, but it's a new group of talented guys, and they've got to put all those pieces together in the right order.
I really like the roster that Revo still has.
Yeah.
Even though they've definitely lost some heavy hitters from that starting lineup, if we go back to what the roster looked like last season at this point in the year. But still, I mean, they could chalk some people out here and make a run and make Sunday. That wouldn't surprise too many people. But this is a big test for them right out the gate here against one of the top teams in League, Houston Heat.
Tougher.
But then also in this set, we have AC Diesel taking on DMG. DMG also having to find new talent constantly and rebuild. They did pick up Zach Hill. And then Diesel as well, too. And Diesel has underperformed since they first came into the pro division.
So DMG's been kind of falling off a little bit, but Diesel's been kind of falling off. They were both kind of middle upwards and middle tier teams, and they've both kind of fallen off since last season.
Yeah, still have to favor Diesel in this one, though.
Yeah.
Though I do like.
Although Shane Howe is playing for DMG,
yes,
so that always gives him a chance.
The ageless assassin, Shane Howe, out there, 475 years old.
No,
still getting it done.
He just had another birthday.
Wow, he's a vampire, man. Yeah, now so look for Shane Howell and the Snake.
Congratulations.
And let's talk about this layout here, Rich. Obviously, you're coaching New York Extreme, and you had some looks at this layout. I've heard the word traditional out of almost every single pro player that I've talked to.
That's the first thing everybody said to me, too. It seems like it's kind of a traditional feel.
Yeah, I heard standard, regular, traditional.
But I think the traditional feel has kind of changed as the game's evolved a little bit, right? Because it's still, I think still we're going to see pocket-ish paintball by the time we get to Sunday, just because that's kind of the style of paintball no matter what the field is, you know, unless there's one that's just so fast or so slow.
The principle is always the same, right? 5 guys with guns, hit the buzzer, have more points than your opponent.
Shoot them, don't get shot.
But the layouts definitely changed the strategy quite a bit,
sure.
Tournament to tournament to tournament. With this one, you can win this from both sides. The Snake is strong,
well, the
D side is strong, the middle is nasty.
He can shoot 3 guys.
The really big question here, Rich, at this event, correct me if you think I'm wrong, it just seems to be the consensus on the information, is that a lot of this is going to be decided on the break.
First of all, I want to say that you're wrong just because it feels good to say that you're wrong.
Are we gonna get our first argument?
But yeah, I mean, so New York was practicing against Houston Heat, so we had and Latin State. So there was a lot of good breakouts on the weekends. And a good amount of those breakouts, maybe 23%, a team would lose 2 or 3 guys. And maybe sometimes the other team would lose 2 guys. It's just who can read and react quickly on those breakouts when you lose, you know, either 1 or 2 guys or just 1 guy off a side that opens the whole side up.
So about to jump here into point number 1, and to add a caveat to that, though, is that also been hearing that you can pull out some low body stuff on this
for
field.
Sure, yeah. And you can put 5 guys across the back and lock it up for a decent amount of Heat loses their first player on the can from the Fuel side, Matty. They have 1 player left in the tower over there. So 4-on-5 advantage here for Revo. Tyler Harmon filling from the center can out to the snake insert bunker.
Yeah, but much better field position currently for Houston Heat. Sam Monville's in a real good spot up that center. And yeah, Revo just pocketing up. 5 bodies alive still for them, though, but they're really letting Heat dictate the pace of this point. They've allowed Tyler Harmon to get in the snake. Now, Revo launches 2 body sense into the snake. Yep. Into snake 2. He mirrors up with Tyler Harmon, but really has to worry about Sam Monville, who's at that brick at the 50. Rob Velez is going to try to answer, and he's going to move up into the wedge, scurrying around trying to figure out the best angle from that spot. There's Henry Sense there on your screen for Baltimore Revo.
Yeah, Revo with a little advantage here, but Matty, they've got the 1 body advantage, but now with the guy in the snake and a guy in that wedge, they've got better field position than Houston Heat.
Benny Carroll with a nice fill out here to get behind Sense, give him a little bit support. Mirrors up Chad George, who's in that same exact spot for Houston Heat, as here comes a little bit more forward progression out of Tyler Harmon. He gets up into snake 3, looking inside, trying to get that drop on Rob Velez.
Yeah, Henry's trying to figure out how to get Sam Monville off of him, off that gap from the center brick there. He's shutting Henry down.
Yeah, Sam is just pumping paint through that lane, pod after pod, and he's just gunned up and just waiting for that shot.
Oh, he broke paint. So now that's the tough question, right? When you're holding a lane like that, Matty, and you break paint, do you just kind of try to keep shooting through it, or do you take a second, clean it out?
I feel like how bad is the break, right? Are we talking about like a
barrel
end
break
of the
or
barrel
breach
break? Is it if it's a breach break? I feel like you got to get your gun with a little bit more accuracy. If it's a barrel break, just shoot through it.
Breach break, just go find someone to run.
Yeah, maybe go bunker out Rob. Yeah, he can't. Sam cannot launch right now because Henry is looking inside.
Yeah.
He's blocked out though. By that other wedge, but and it looks like he's finally going to get clipped out. So nice kill here for Houston Heat. It's going to put him with an advantage. 5-on-4 situation here, as that's the first body to drop. Benny Carroll is still out wide. Here's Tyler Harmon for Houston Heat on your screen.
Tyler Harmon's so clutch, getting into that snake, going around the 50 now. I don't know if he knows
so
the corners.
versatile. He can play everywhere. He can play back. He can play front. He can play as the insert. He's going to wrap and he's going to get that inside kill on Rob Velez. Oh, no. Rob actually was able to get the kill. And here comes the move from O'Mara. O'Mara's so good at this specific part of the game, the read and react offense. And then here comes Chad George, going to try to drop the hammer. It costs him his body as the chaos has set in. And it looks like
Revo with 2 bodies left.
Yeah, Revo's going to be able to steal this point here with nice job by Benny Carroll and Chris Shear to stay alive in the chaos. I think Heat might have lost a body early that we missed from that D side.
No, I call it the decan.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. So
Heat won the beginning of that. Nobody lost a body on the break. Heat won the initial making the move with Sam up the middle and into the tower on the Dorito side, but then lost a guy, and Revo pushed back into the snake and up the center and ended up pulling that point back.
Yeah, I think that was a really interesting look at how we could potentially see a team playing slightly on their heels and still able to win a point.
That was real good high level, though, back and forth for a first match against 2 high-level teams. You know, kind of tit for tat, 4 for 5, 4 and 4.
So now we see AC Diesel coming out here. So let's look at this little 2-pack here from Steven O'Mara. Gets the kill on Tyler Harmon. Comes in a little extra bonus balls there. Catches Sam sleeping. Slips in this super thick, lush, luxurious grass we have out here for this one. And here's another angle of it. And there's Chad George shooting, gets that kill on Velez on the inside. And then Chad tried to do damage control, but unfortunately, Benny Carroll and Chris Shear were still left alive for Revo to put that first point up. So there's Andy Horvath in the center. Looks like Challenger's going to be going towards the D side, and the Iceman as well, Mark Baginski. On the breakout, they go heavy guns up, leave 2 in the back here to try to get the drop on DMG, but no bodies drop for DMG. 5-on-5 break.
Similar field position. Oh, DMG loses their first player from the snake side, Matty.
Yeah, Gerber taking the early walk here. So DMG down to 4.
Yeah, and I think he made it there and then got shot out, Matt, because it was a little 10-second.
Ridge also looks like the player at the can, farthest player over on the D side, is having some gun issues.
Oh, yeah. Well, he needs to get his head up. There he goes. Gets his gun up now. Looking inside there. As Diesel moves out to the snake insert bunker. Diesel with all 5 guys left alive. Shane Howe first into the snake with the Ageless Assassin going forward.
Boyum with a little tactical retreat to get behind Shane.
Yeah, that's a good support position there for the snake guy, Matt, because he can shut down the move from the insert bunker and he can shut down the move from the corner, but most importantly, he can see if they get in the snake with you. If you come out to the corner, you can't see when that guy goes in there, so all of a sudden he just pops up in front of you and you're like, oh, cool, there's a guy here with me.
So Shane has now crawled up all the way into D4, right at that 50-yard line.
I don't know if they know he's there.
I don't think they do. He has not, and you notice he's not touching the bunker, so this is the proper way to play it. You've got one of the saltiest veterans out here, Shane Howe. He's an inch off that bunker. He's trying not to hit that bunker and telegraph his position.
He just missed his shot crossfield on the Dorito, Matty. He just brought his gun up after the guy went, so now he knows he's there, though, and I believe he's going to try to go forward and get him.
Yeah, he's wrapping around here. Looks like he wants to push forward. Shane's got a worry about that inside lane, and he's just going to do a little tactical retreat here. That's smart. It's just point number 1. You got a lot of time to work with. You're in good position.
Yeah. Down by 1 body here. First point so critical in the match because you really can kind of control the pace after that first point. Clint Johnson now filling the snake. Sorry, Mark Johnson.
Yeah, also another ageless assassin. So we got 2 grown men
We've
here.
Got, yeah, with a mean age of over 100 years old.
Oh, I love it. I love how it just goes to show you, man. It does. You can still play this game at its highest level into your 40s.
You need a good brain and a strong trigger finger.
Oh, but Mark does lose his body behind him, so tough death here.
Oh,
and another one. So there's a couple tough deaths here for AC, as AC Diesel.
Iceman releases, though, and gets a kill on the Drio side. 2 DMG players taking a walk over there.
And, yeah, it's getting a little chaotic out here as the 2 bodies dropping for DMG. It's going to come down to the battle in the stake, and Mark Johnson gets the drop in on Shane Howe. Baginski also still alive. Crossfield into D4 or D3. Yeah, 2-on-1 situation here. Just 1 body left alive for DMG, and he's in D1.
Releases.
He's going to go coast to coast. He catches Mark, but it costs him his body, and yeah, so the 2 Marks get it done here. Mark Baginski on the D side and Mark Johnson here on the Snake side. Mark Johnson going to be the last player left alive. He's going to jog in and put the first point on the board, though. 2 close points here to start things out.
Hey, man, good paintball. That's all I'm asking for.
We've definitely been getting blessed with very entertaining paintball. If we go back to just look at how obviously it's getting really interesting with the narratives and all the storylines. So many moves that have happened mid-season. Well, not really mid-season. This is 4 more events to go, but
I'm calling it mid-season.
With the destruction of the Latin Saints, and that's also, the Saints are still here with the whole new roster full of mostly Latin players, and I picked up Russell, who works for Lux.
Yep.
Talked to him yesterday as their coach. So we'll tell that story when we get there this afternoon, but there's just a lot of really compelling paintball stories going on.
Yeah, every team out here's got 2 or 3 new guys, it seems like.
Yeah, so, you know, and again, speaking of stories, no Konstantin Fedorov here and no Chad Boucher. So, again, for Houston Heat, though, the team is so insanely deep that it shouldn't really matter. Are you going to tell me a funny story right now?
Well, no, I'm going to tell you what happened because we were practicing with him and stuff.
Well, he got COVID. That's why he's not here.
Oh, is that what he told you? Is that what he said? Okay.
Jump into
we're going COVID. Okay.
Jumping into the split screen breakout
here. Losing their first player, Drew side, Maddie.
Yeah, it's Moorhead dropping, getting shot off the break, and that's, again, we didn't see it in the first couple points, but I've been hearing that you're going to potentially could see bloodbaths on the break.
You can definitely see bloodbaths. Revo gets outside to Dorito 3, Maddie, and with them outside and Heat losing their first player on the Drew side already, big advantage here in the second point for Revo, Matt.
Yeah, Revo trying to put their second point on the board. Got a slight lead, a lot of time to go, though. So just getting things going. 15 minutes in regulation time. And Revo now going to scurry out wide, snake side. We're looking at Heat still tucked in the pocket. They tucked in the pocket, though, and made their shots count. If you play defense, you got to make your shots, and Heat just did that to even up the counts. 4-on-4, but better field position for Revo up that center.
Yeah, if you're going to let him, if you're going to stay that pocket, you've got to have good zone control, and that was perfect zone control. When he moved out to that corner, he got caught by Tyler Harmon, the center can there, shooting cross. Looks like Misha tries to get outside. On the G side, gets caught.
So another
was hide.
Oh, that was no, that was Devin Stewart.
So Stewart, sorry.
So down to 3 bodies here, and still kind of in the pocket though, with Chad George at the insert bunker snake side.
Revo to the 50 now on the Drio side break. Another player to the 50. So Revo with 3 players in the 50.
Revo looking pretty crisp to start things out against.
Nobody saw Chad George though, Matt.
Yeah, they didn't see Chad George. He could catch Rob sleeping.
He's gonna get 1 or 2 right now.
Yeah, he's gonna get Rob for free, and he's look at this. Chad George trying to turn things around here. He's gonna end maybe with the 3-pack. He gets 3. Wow. Still 1 body left alive for Houston Heat though, but he gets taken out as well too as Chris Shear closes the gap nicely on that D side. Such a standout for Baltimore Revo. Chad George was making that one really interesting, doing Chad George type things over here.
I got a little tingling when I saw him dip in there and nobody reacted. I was like, oh, I don't think they know he's there.
He got 3 of them.
That's right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he should have gone inside, got that last guy clean.
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah, Chad, really tighten that up, bro. Man. Tighten that up,
Chad,
bro.
I mean, 3's not enough,
bro. I'm not saying I'm disappointed, but I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, Chad George almost single-handedly made a statement for best move of the tournament here in the 3rd point that we've seen.
In his second point.
Yeah. So, yeah, so going to go up 2-0 here. Heat getting off a little bit of a slow start. Revo looking pretty crisp.
He does seem like they start a little slow, though.
Yeah,
right?
they know that.
Before, right?
They know that. Yeah, it can be an issue for them sometimes.
Yeah. They're not morning people. That's what they're saying. They're not morning people.
Somebody get those boys some coffee.
Yeah, I had some coffee earlier. I don't have any now.
Yeah, you know who wasn't flat this morning? Tyler Harmon. His eyes were
Who's
glowing
never
like
flat?
glowing like a bright shining star.
Oh, you mean never flat Tyler Harmon?
Yeah, that guy's got so much energy.
DMG, Diesel with 5 alive. They make it to the snake corner with a little bit of a bite, but looks like
Oh, we're
DMG
gonna see our
loses-
first penalty, Rich.
One gets shot, one gets pulled. 3-on-5 advantage here early on for Diesel.
Yeah, first penalty of the tournament gonna be on DMG. See how quickly AC Diesel can take advantage of it as they quickly get a body up into the wedge.
And this paint is brittle this morning, Matty. I see a lot of paint breaking on the net, which you don't usually see, but as you can see, like the guys have gone Dorito, you just see this spots.
When you're making paint for an event this time of the year in Philadelphia, you have to worry about the humidity a little bit. And it's gonna be humid today. Nothing crazy, but oh, look at this. Little nice clear out here from Roberts. Roberts is coming through.
1-on-5, I think. 0-on-5. Diesel looking real strong that point, Matty.
Yeah. Diesel's 2 points in a row. Yeah, so both Revo and Diesel looking pretty sharp through 2. 2-0 score in both these sets. Yeah, I mean, this field is playing as advertised, Rich, so far.
Yeah.
We've seen a little bit of kind of all the things that we thought we'd see. The one thing we really haven't seen too much is the fast D side that I was hearing about.
No, so Revo did take that Dorito 3 on the break, their second point, but then he didn't really just go.
Yeah.
Right. So, and what you have to do basically is get from your Dorito 3 into their Dorito 4, and that's when the feasting happens.
100%. Yeah. The D3 kind of has trash shots inside. If you're on your feet, yeah, you have some okay shots from D3, but D4 has some good shots. And when you wrap on D4, yeah, that's when you're really starting to put a lot of pressure on your opponents.
Especially if you get there early.
Yeah, if you get there early, which is why you would take a risk to try to get him to D3 off the break.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just depends on which way the guns are shifting. But just been hearing in practice how quick that D side could play. So we'll see that at some point this weekend. And now on the breakout, we're looking at Revo. They're on the screen with a 2-point lead over the favorites in this one. Houston Heat. Velez, though, going to be taking an early walk out of the can in the middle.
Mishka with a good fill again to that tower on the Drew side. He's doing a good job of filling from that back center. Revo loses the play on the Drew side. 3-on-5 advantage here for Heat as Mishka moves up Dorito side. Sam Monville moves up the center. Sam goes through, gets Omar. It looks like they trade.
Yeah, we'll trade in the middle.
Oh, it looks like Revo's losing another player, Dorito side, Benicaro.
Yeah, Mishka is in a really good spot here. He's at the 50 brick. Towards that D side. Just trying to close this one out. Revo.
Yeah, it looks like Heat woke up.
Got a body left and alive in the back corner bunker here. Chad George dives into the 50. Wrapping around, trying to figure out where these last bodies there. Last body in the back corner is going to get tapped out, and that's going to do it. Houston Heat finally on the board. So keeping this one close, no surprise. Houston Heat a favorite in this tournament.
2-1, I think.
2-1.
I think.
Yeah, definitely 2-1. Revo took the first 2. So, yeah, Houston Heat, like you said, waking up finally here. Doing some damage early.
Yeah, they had the first kill on the break.
Little trade in the center.
They made the 2 moves at the gut, and then they got the kill in Dorito. And
they just
dropped.
They were taking the initiative out there.
Yeah, they weren't counting punch.
Yeah, they were. You know, hey, look, you go down some. You can't really play pocket that much anymore when you're already down 2 points early. Kind of forced to go into that offensive mode, and that's Heat's game. That's what they're the best at.
Luckily, that works out well for them.
Yeah. It's just tricky, right? Because you know this field can pocket up a little bit. It's definitely the safe thing to do is to stay in the pocket a little bit in your first game with 15 minutes on the clock, just to kind of see if you can get some kills, knowing how good of gunfighters and lane shooters that they are. It just wasn't working for them in those first couple. We'll see if DMG can wake up here. They're in a similar situation. Down by 2 early. Still some time on the board.
Yeah, well, this field is, if you go to the pocket 2 or 3 points in a row and the guns turn inside, it gets easier to get outside, right?
Absolutely.
Or if you're going outside every game, you're going to get caught, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, they're going to get those shots dialed in. DMG now all the way up to the 30 Dorito there, Matt.
Yeah, and early. But to kind of co-sign on what you're saying, talking to a lot of the coaches out here, I think a lot of the coaches feel that this is also potentially going to be, early death for DMG from out of that D3. But it could be another one from Gerber. So DMG, I talked to these guys about this yesterday when I saw them at practice. They have to work on their survivability. They do get a kill, though, on Roberts. That's pretty clutch.
Yeah, they're playing too loose. 4-on-3 advantage here for Diesel. By a couple points, got 3 across the back, 1 in the wing in the center, Mark Johnson.
AC Diesel hungry at this event. Really wants to improve upon they haven't made a Sunday yet, so.
They drop another one, Matty. Might be 3-on-3. Fill that corner again immediately with a good fill. That's Horvath. Oh, DMG now loses their Dorito player.
Yeah, it's good for DMG that Roberts did take an early walk in this point, but getting Nate Roberts back is pretty big for them.
Yeah.
And he is a legit doctor, so, you know, he's kind of got like some important regular life stuff going on. But
whatever.
And it's going to be point for Diesel. So, yeah, DMG just struggling with survivability. They've already got a penalty, the only penalty we've seen so far here at this event, so they just need to tighten things up.
So they're winning that battle.
Well, look, another team that's rebuilding. But they know the things they need to work on. The issue for DMG is they're sitting at 20th place right now.
Yeah.
Now they did not attend the last event, the minor event. They will be in Sacramento. So the tough thing with the rankings right now, 2 events in, with one of them being a minor, this one being a major, we really don't know what the real rankings are going to be until we get through this tournament.
After California.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, once we get through the Sacramento event, then we'll really kind of know what the lower ranked teams need to do to not get relegated and what the higher ranked teams need to do to try to solidify the series title. And Revo still up by 1 here on Houston Heat. And on the breakout, split screen breakout, looks like a body dropping for Houston Heat.
Yes, they lost this the first time they go outside the pocket, Matty. They lose their outside guy on the snake side. So, like, yeah, I told you the pocket wasn't the call.
Well, so that's, again, talking to some of these coaches out here, that they feel that this could be a tournament that having the right play call, sometimes that's not as big of a deal,
right? Depending
on the layout.
Yeah. But this layout, everybody's doing the same thing no matter what.
But this layout really could be one of those situations that the right play call at the right time, you know, seeing what your opponents are doing, knowing they're shooting certain lanes or they're picking on one guy and then having to go away from that. You're going to do that all the time, but it's just a lot of the coaches do feel that this could be a tournament that they're going to be needed more than other events.
Yeah, because if you're both going full send, it's full send, right? Like it's chaos. Whatever happens, happens. If you both go pocket, it's chaos. Whatever happens. But if one of you goes pocket and one of you goes full send, one of you is going to smash the other one pretty quickly, and get that matchup. Making those guesses is why the coaches get the big bucks.
Well, speaking of pocket, we were just looking at
Benny get a corner.
Yeah, Benny asking for a check. So yeah, I mean, Houston Heat staying in the pocket after losing that first body, but making their shots count here as they get Benny Carroll out from that back corner bunker here, snake side.
Yep. Now Revo's just got to try to control Heat and keep them in the pocket, force Heat to push through those zones outside the pocket.
Yeah, and with no Fedorov, so we're going to see Ronnie Dizon and Ryan Moorhead play the Doritos.
They were both playing really good in practice, man.
Well, both MVP caliber players. Both those guys have got MVPs
yeah.
before. I mean, most notably at World Cup, the Hero World Cup a few years ago, Ryan Moorhead. And I look at this D side and think that both Ronnie and Ryan could feast out here. Sure enough, there goes Ryan Moorhead, goes right into D4, gets that inside kill. And Revo coming off shaking their head, knowing you got to watch that gap. It's O'Mara. You know, Mara's typically pretty good at defending himself in that situation. That's just a really nice move from Ryan Moorhead.
Yeah, and he made his first shot. Like, immediately dove in, raised his gun, made his kill.
Chris Shear, though, now trying to do damage control. He advances into D4 to try to deal with Ryan Moorhead right in front of him.
Yeah, it's going to be a little battle.
It is a really good battle. I mean, considering how good Shear's gotten recently,
yeah.
I mean, Shear's elite now, man. Shear's a killer. And Ryan Moorhead's been elite for over a decade now. Well over a decade, actually.
So, game slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, and you can see there's Rob Velez. He's looking over towards that D side, trying to give Shear some protection in case Ryan gets up. He doesn't have the angle from there, though. So, and he's going to move up to get a little bit closer and be able to wrap and more efficiently protect. Rob Velez, a veteran, too. Rob Velez was on Impact last year.
Yeah, great move by Rob Velez to reposition there, protects his player. Now he's closer, he can talk. The angle is more similar. Oh, he gets the back kill.
Velez gets the kill on Devin Stewart. So that was a huge kill from Rob Velez. Yeah, the beautiful job by Rob, right? Gets in the correct spot. I talked to Rob actually out there this morning, and he felt really confident about the center. He knew all the angles, and I mean, he was talking me through it. Really, he did his homework on this one, and he just proved it right there.
Shows.
Great kill.
Yeah, and he killed, immediately called the kill. So now it's a 3-on-2. Heat with Tyler Harmon here in the snake insert. And I can't see who's behind him.
That's Ryan Smith.
Oh, right. So it was 3-on-3, and then Ryan moves in up there on the snake, on the Drew side, into that inside big brick. He's going to make the move.
Ryan Moorhead trying to make something happen here. He gets Shear. Oh, and he's going to take a 2-for-1, looks like. Yeah, nice. So that's a great job by Ryan Moorhead. Yep. 2 kills come off of that move as he plays the aggressor, gets Shear, forces Rob Velez to trade the body, and then Tyler Harmon's going to win the gunfight with Henry Sense down the line. Man, Ryan Smith in there as well, too. So beautiful job by Ryan Moorhead on that D side.
Just forced it.
Yeah, he really just kind of bullied his way around over there. They could not contain him.
Nope.
And he's going to tie this game up.
Yeah. Forced him into a bad gunfight, won the gunfight, and then forced the trade.
Yeah, and Rob
really good math.
Rob had to engage at that point in time based on where he was and where Ryan was. So that's just, again, another really nice move from Ryan Moorhead. He got there early. He forced Shear to react. lost the body behind him on a nice kill from Rob Velez, and then was there to look over Sheer, but Ryan wins the gunfight on Chris and then forces Rob to trade. Tyler wins the gunfight over here on the snake side, and then Ryan Smith was in there to give Tyler some support. So that was just a really nice, solid point from those last few players for Houston Heat.
And a way to pull it back, you know, trapped in the pocket, down bodies, and just, like you said, major shots, controlled the zones, and got back in the game.
And it's interesting. I mean, again, we're seeing a lot of what this field has to offer here just in the first couple points
no kidding,
in this set. Seeing a lot of different potential variables that we will continue to see, but yeah, it's...
And we haven't even seen the fast play yet. Like, we haven't seen a full release on the snake side. We haven't seen it go through the middle hard.
Well, DMG's getting there, right? Oh, a little bit of an early start here for Diesel, not called on it. Oh, and he ends up, Roberts get shot anyway, though, so.
But he was the only guy snake side, so that could hurt him if DMG can contain. They do lose their first attacker, Drio side. So 4-on-4 here, Matt, as Diesel pushes up Drio side.
Yeah, Diesel going with Challenger, D side, and he quickly gets into D3. Nice couple moves from Ben to get some forward progression.
Good fill out from the center can to this juice box snake side.
Yeah, he realized that I think it was Roberts that took the early walk, and so he had to get out here, try to spread the field a little bit.
Yeah, the repositioning out of that back center bunker to better bunkers is going to become more and more crucial over the day. Matty, I don't know if you looked at that back center, but
I did.
On the back center from the right side, there's no shots, and then from the left side, there's equally no shots. But all 5 bunkers around it have really good shots.
If you're taller off the break, there's some good shots.
Yeah, for sure.
But after that,
you can stay alive on the break there, which is great, right?
Yeah.
But after that, it's diminishing returns for sure.
Well, then, so new pickup for DMG that I really think is going to help their chances to not get relegated this year and to help improve just in general overall is Zach Hill. So Zach Hill trying to move up, though. He gets clipped, trying to play offense over there. But DMG has no choice, right? Down by 3, really got to start pushing the issue.
It's time to giddy up and go. Otherwise, Diesel's just going to lock it up, grind it out, make the points as long, slow, and painful as possible. Shane Howe now moving into Diesel's side of the field in the snake, looking inside there. He's got 2 players behind him. So Diesel flying down the Drio side, though. Shane Howe misses him. Oh, Shane's got to get lucky. Gets lucky, gets low. Staying alive from the Dorito.
Penalty assessed on Diesel.
Oh, sorry, on Diesel.
Yeah, on Diesel. Horvath in the back center, and they're going to run all the way over to pull out. Can't see who that is on the D side. It's Baginski.
Yeah.
And so DMG with a bit of a gift here. Penalty on Andy Horvath. That's going to be their first point. So we got ourselves a little bit of a game now here. If that had turned into a 4-point spread, we'd be singing a different song. But now that 2-point spread.
Yeah, I feel like DMG was winning that point even without the penalty, but the penalty sealed the deal.
Yeah.
Sealed the deal. Revo coming back out against Heat. I wonder if we're going to see the full release here from Heat. They've been playing pretty conservatively for the first 4 points or so.
Yeah, just kind of feeling things out. But tie ball game here.
Yeah. They've got good defense with Ronnie Dizon. He goes around the outside of the Dorito, up to the Dorito 3, Dorito 4, and just wrecks house when he gets up there. And then obviously when Chad releases and goes snake early, he does a lot of damage as well.
All right, so looking at Houston Heat, going to go with Dizon this time. On that D side, Chad George getting tons of spins over here, snake side. Sam Monvo going to be going up the gut. Look for Tyler to either be in front of or behind Chad George, and then Mishka Kiesnev will be in there as well too, playing towards that center, towards that D side. And on the split screen, here comes, going to be digging out, trying to get out wide here for Revo. Does he make it through that lane? You see Heat keeping 2 bodies at that back center. Rich and I were just talking about potent off the break shots, particularly if you're taller.
Yep.
So Tyler Harmon's got to be 6'3", and he's got a really good shot here towards the snake side because of that height, but not able to get a stream there here on Revo. 5 bodies alive for them.
Revo's got to do a better job of containing Houston Heat because Houston Heat's pocketing up every play, and they're letting him fill outside there.
Well, they didn't let Chad George fill. Chad George gets shot trying to get out, so that's a good kill.
He got in there and then got shot out.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. But then after that, Tyler filled and Sam filled.
And a pretty quick move here into D3 for Revo.
Well, that's big. That can shut down the center of the field.
Yeah, Revo on the blue side, Houston Heat in the red jerseys on the red side currently. And just 5 minutes to go here in this match.
And this has been a fast match.
Yeah,
there's more time left.
Yeah, a little bit longer points out here, and I think it's going to go both ways. I think we're going to see some decently high-scoring games, but I think we're going to see a lot of this too. Just based on what everyone had been telling me this week.
Yeah, it just if you get 2 slow, methodical teams, you're going to get a slow, methodical game. If you get 2 fast teams, maybe we'll get some fast points.
Yeah, and it's.
But unless you blow 3 guys off the break, it's really hard to fly down this field.
Yeah, well, long points eat up that time, so not a lot of time to work with here. This could be the point that decides it, as it is tied 2-2. It would be really big for Revo to get a win here against Houston Heat in game number 1. It would send a statement to the league like, hey, yeah, our roster's been chewed up
but
this
we can
past
still beat
year,
the best teams
but we
in the
still
world.
have, yeah, but if we can beat Heat, if you can beat Heat, you can beat anybody. You could win this tournament. You really have to believe that.
I believe.
So Sam Monville in the snake now here on your screen.
Ryan Dizon now pushing into drill 3, Maddie.
So mirrored up. A little bit better field position now for Heat with Sam Monville, but Sense is going to get into the snake.
So important for him to get in there. It's one of those snakes, Maddie, where there's not a bunch of payoffs for getting in there, but if the other team's in there, you got to get in there, right? Otherwise, that guy crawls down. Oh, Henry gets shot on the cross shot from Ronnie Dizon.
Yeah, beautiful job by Ronnie as he got into D4. Actually, both Sheer and Ronnie are in D4. But yeah, that's just a tough death for Henry there in a pretty key spot. And again, in a moment where it's 2-2, we're under 5 minutes left. And this could be the deciding point. Decides who wins or loses this first match.
Yeah, Mishka's in a great position over there on the tower on the drill side to protect Ronnie. And then Tyler's in a great spot over here to protect Sam. Just basically playing 2-on-2 heads-up paintball right now with Revo having Benny Caros stuck in the middle can. I can't see who's in the Dorito can. And someone in the corner over here. So 4-on-3 advantage for Heat. Heat with 2 guys on each tape. Revo with 2 guys in the middle, 1 in the snake corner. 1 body advantage, very close match here.
Yeah,
3 minutes left.
Yeah, it's getting down to it. The longer this point goes, the more important it becomes. Benny Caro with a little tactical retreat.
That was a good retreat.
They got Geiger in this back corner bunker, new pickup.
Geiger, nice, yeah.
Yeah, coming over from Energy Elite.
Yeah, I like the way he plays.
Me too, man. He's a bigger dude, but he plays really aggressive.
Yep.
He's pretty fast.
Very athletic.
Yeah, and he's proven himself out here. So I like that pickup for Revo to bolster the line a little bit. And so he's in the back corner. Got Benny Caro right beside him. And so I think Shear's, no, Shear's actually in the can.
So it's 4-on-4, my bad.
Yeah, there's definitely 4 bodies left alive for Revo. And Sam is still alive over here, I think at the 50. And Dizon's at D4. Yeah, 4-on-4 with under 3 to go. This is the point.
And what's the score, Maddie?
That's tied 2-2.
2-2, that's right. Sorry, guys, our scoreboard's down. Good communication over here on the Heat side of the field.
Oh, Monville trying to get the shot down the sideline, not able to get it. Geiger's looking inside right now. Geiger's going to launch. Oh, thought for a second he might have run the highway, but that would have been a big commitment, and we're down to 2 minutes now.
I like that reposition from Geiger. If nobody knows that he went there, he might catch Sam or Tyler.
Ref's going to reposition a little bit here. I thought he was coming in to check Geiger for a second.
I like that repositioning on the ref. Very aggressive.
The way he was running in, I thought he was going to go running and check Zach.
Yeah.
But
Tyler Harmon now backing up Sam, going to the snake insert bunker. He's mirrored up with Geiger, so I think he does know that Geiger's there now.
So it is 4-on-4, Rich, but just better field position with Sam in such a good spot here, snake side. It's really forcing Geiger to play defense and wait for Sam to do something.
Well, and you can see the posture on the Revo side has been completely defense this whole time in a 4-on-4, where Heat is just little by little moving up the field, just more and more pressure going forward and forward.
Yeah, the death from Henry kind of made it that way, which is based on where everybody was. And look at this, Dizon cuts to the inside.
Sam was trying to do the bounce shot off of that pin over there, Matty, because sometimes you can bounce off of that pin into the Dorito 4, depending on how far back off that guy's playing.
Sam's backing up here a little bit, trying to figure out how he can get an angle to try to get a kill.
Geiger went back to the corner as well.
Yeah, as we're
Tyler
down,
goes back. 1 minute tie game, guys. 1 minute tie game. It's going to go overtime, Matty.
I think it could potentially go to overtime.
Man, but this does not bode well for a lot of fast-paced games this weekend, guys. Everyone just,
bodes well for keeping us on schedule.
Yeah,
though.
everybody get comfy. Sam trying to get that cross shot. Very good shot back and forth from 40-50 here. Mishka's moving forward.
Yeah, Heat is putting themselves in position to try to steal this one in the last few seconds.
Yeah.
As Monville's past the 50, he's really putting the pinch on D4, but he has to live by his gun right now. Obviously,
100%.
he can hit the deck and use the beam. But the rest also, but Houston Heat, Mishka is also popping the top here. He has moved up into the wedge. He's looking for a spot to move. Tyler Harmon's on his feet. He's going to move up as well. So Tyler, yeah, Heat is going to make an attempt to try to win this one. But they have to produce a kill here. Just going into the 4 guns, it could be tough. Tyler's going to come across to take over. He's really going to have to really hope that Sam just
makes
keeps
a shot.
that keeps that
or
body
has
in.
or more paint on his back.
Because Tyler is completely open to D4. Yeah, so we're going to see an overtime point. It's in our very first match.
This match is going to be decided, I think, by who wins this next breakout.
It took the words right out of my mouth.
Got you good, sucker.
Yeah, no,
Wait,
it's...
Rich is awesome. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I wasn't thinking that at all.
Sorry.
I wasn't. Apologies.
Rich is awesome.
No, I was going the opposite direction with that one.
That's crazy.
Sorry, brother. No, I mean, you're pretty awesome. I'll give that to you.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, since you're asking for compliments already here in match 1, but, you know, I like to flatter you as much.
Hey, I'll
so
take them anytime I can get them.
You know, you're getting a little salty in your old age. I like to keep you a little cheery, you know?
Salty?
Actually, you're getting less salty.
I feel like I'm getting less salty. It's like more buttery.
I'm just throwing barbs at you until I get something out of you.
Just poking you in the ribs until something works. Get.
So there's Spiegelman, Zach Hill, number 25. Boyum's out there as well. Looks like Howell, and I can't see who the 5th body is. And so we got, it's a 3-2 or 3-1 here in favor of Diesel. DMG has some work to do. They just need to tighten things up, man. They're losing too many bodies. They had that just one penalty, but still it cost them.
Well, it's hard watching their games to kind of figure out like what their game plan is. Like, were they planning on playing like a fast point, a slow point? Are they reading and reacting? Because I just can't really tell.
Well, they're missing both of their coaches. Tifong and Hal Vanta are both not here.
Yeah,
so
that's tough. That makes sense.
You know, so it's Shane Howell and Dylan, I believe, that are player coaching right now, and they are playing almost all the points. So, you know, that's always tough. You can do it, but it is not it's the uphill climb.
Yep. DMG, big release to Dorito 3, Matt. It looks like he gets in there live.
Yeah.
He can capitalize on it
Real
now.
quick move for Boyum into, and they get a kill. So 4-on-5 situation. Boyum quickly goes into D4.
Yeah. DMG needs to continue to release to get out of that back line.
A lot of time in this one. Under just a little touch under 8 minutes to go.
Diesel releasing now into Dorito 3, Dorito 4, Matty. Now going all the way through the Dorito side. DMG countering Zach Hill, shoots that guy, gets back outside and Dorito 4 himself.
Body dropping here for DMG. Another body for Diesel as Baginski's coming off, pushing on that D side. But here comes
Now
a big move. Releasing all the way down. No one is looking over here. There's too many bodies to drop for DMG, and they're going to make the most of it. Diesel going to glide in. Nice job by, I think, that's Baginski.
Baginski.
Yeah, who's the other body over there? Might have been Grayson. Still, nice read and react here from Mark Baginski, cleaning things up from that D side to
good action over there.
Yet another point on the board. Now, DMG does have some time to work with.
Yeah.
There's a lot more time in this one as we're about to head into overtime with the Houston Heat Revo match. But
it doesn't matter how much time you have, right? It's like you got to figure out what you got to do, right? You got to take that first point and then go from there. They got to go out there and figure out how to take that first point.
2 seconds.
Overtime here, 5 minutes left. First team to score points gets the win. I feel like Revo's been taking a little bit more risks on the break than Houston Heat. Houston Heat's been pretty conservative with the breakout.
But both teams looking not bad, right?
No, they both look
teams
great,
are looking
man.
pretty good.
Yeah.
We're seeing goodness,
A
some
good
moves out of
counter back and forth paintball.
Yeah, it's been a really, even though it's 2-2, it's been an entertaining match. Oh, but looks like Revo going to be losing O'Mara here off the break. It's one of their big killers.
Karma.
Benny Carroll, though, real quickly floods up into the center.
Mishka with that move to the tower again. They cannot stop Mishka from going to that tower, Matt.
And then here comes
Sam.
Yeah.
I love that.
Good repositioning on the secondary moves for Houston Heat.
Yeah, Benny's got to be careful or Sam's going to eat him up. Oh, Benny got so lucky. Oh, he gets Sam. Oh, he goes back over the top, gets caught,
and
Matt.
he knows he's frustrated.
Yeah.
He pops a top, he gets the shot on Sam, pops a top again, and then ends up getting shot.
Yeah.
So if he had just tucked in there after that first, if you pop the top too much in the center, it's just too risky. So still, he got his kill, but now it's 3-on-4.
Great read and react from Mishka there, knowing that there was no one for him to block or defend. He swings outside to the Dorito 4, starts to wrap and go forward. Really, really good read and react. A lot of people just stayed there on defense, holding that cut, even though there was no one attacking from Revo. Revo now with 3 across the back. They've got the back center, the Dorito can, Snake.
Yeah, they're just pocketed up here, rolling their guns, trying to get a kill, trying to catch somebody on Houston Heat sleep. And looks like Henry Sense. He's going to move up into the tower.
Yeah.
And here comes a double stack of bodies flooding down the D side for Houston Heat. Ronnie Dizon goes past Mishka, who is at D4. He goes into the 50-yard line brick, looking inside.
Yeah, and that tower is really good in the beginning of the game, Matty, but it's not great later in the game. It's too easy to get stuck there, and those big things in the middle just block everything out. So
Dizon's looking for it, Rich.
Yep. Dizon's looking to thread that needle.
Dizon comes through. He gets that 1 kill. He gets 2. Look at this beautiful little
Nice
3-pack
job,
for Ronnie
Dizon.
Dizon here in overtime to put the exclamation point here and the winning point. It's just an amazing, beautiful run through from Ronnie Dizon, former MVP award winner. And, you know, with Fedorov not here, hearing how well he was playing in practice, And knowing they have Ryan Moorhead and Ronnie Dizon, both those guys are outstanding. So that's just, it's just, you know, Heat, just an embarrassment of riches as far as talent is concerned over there. It's unbelievable how much experience and talent those guys have. And it's going to be tough to beat Heat if they have this many weapons, right? But that was just a beautiful read for Ronnie Dizon to run through, get that last little clean 3-pack.
Well, and to me, the whole match, Revo's, you know, because both lead obviously closely matched, right? The whole match.
Yeah, look at this little run through here. Sorry, on the replay. He already got that first kill on Velez, comes through, and let's get another look at this. So there's that first kill on Velez, comes through, shoots sense, and then just knew exactly where the last body was and dices up sheer and making it look very pretty. Nice job, Ronnie. So still 7:15 left in this one. This is again we're going to see fast points out of here, and we're going to see slow points, and we already saw it here in set number 1. The sun is also finally coming out. It's going to get a little hot today. This weekend's supposed to be nice. I was talking to some of the guys out here. I'm like, look, I know some people like playing in the morning, some people like playing in the afternoon, but I really love the morning set just because like, you get there, you don't have to wait around. But it's also nice to play the morning set when it's not hot and humid yet. So that's definitely going to be the case today. So can DMG dig themselves out of this 3-point hole here?
DMG makes both outside spots, the snake corner and the Dorito one. Diesel releasing into the wedge on the Dorito side. 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Diesel with 4 players left in the pocket.
Yeah, it's even with the decent amount of time left, it really is with this 3-point spread up to DMG to push into the guns of AC Diesel. Diesel going to see a lot of this. Take some ground and then roll guns. Ooh, kind of a little
and then double bunkers
move.
up.
Little tactical retreat out of that spot as Johnson's going to take the insert. And here comes DMG moving into the snake. He's at the 50 here. Penalty assess is going to help things out for DMG, Rich.
Yep. Give him a chance to get on the board here.
Second penalty assessed on AC Diesel so far in this event. Gonzalez.
And if he backs up just a tiny bit, he's got an amazing cross shot.
He doesn't know he's there.
No.
Yeah, Gonzalez could, if he checks off on the inside, he's definitely gonna be able to shoot the pack, the player for Diesel up in the center. And then now some decent communication or a little bit of a read. Oh, looks like Baginski's gonna take the walk as he got into D3. It's not looking good right now for Diesel. Gonzalez comes across, he's gonna get the free kill inside. Just one body to worry about, and then he's gonna get taken out, so.
Good game there for Gonzalez. 2-4, DMG could be getting back into this match.
Yeah, that's exactly what DMG needed to do, and they did get a bit of a gift with that penalty, so Diesel needs to clean it up just a touch. Gonzalez getting checked out. Make sure that he's good to go, as he was definitely taking some fire.
Yeah, he's got rub on his pack and rub on his hopper, so it's good for Spiegel to hit the buzzer. Safer.
Yeah, you always want to, if you have time, get a check before you hit that buzzer. See too many dirty hangs out here, dirty buzzer hits.
So now we're in true X-ball mode, which means there'll be 2 minutes between each point, with only 2 teams remaining in this match. DMG and Diesel. Revo and Houston Heat match.
Yeah. And yeah, with the conclusion, Heat taking the victory in overtime with a beautiful little 3-pack run through from Ronnie Dizon. And we also saw some nice moves from Ryan Moorhead over there. So Todd has some options on that D side.
And then Chad George had that big 3-piece earlier, even though they didn't win the point. So
yeah. And Tyler Harmon's playing great in the snake as well too. We saw Sam Monville in the snake.
It must be really hard for Todd to have to coach those guys. I feel so bad for him.
Those are those teams where you can kind of joke. It's like, all right, we're just going to put all the names in a hat.
Which 5 guys you want in? I don't care. Just put any 5 of them in, whatever.
Yeah, it's just pulling names out of a hat. I'm going to have, okay, Ryan Smith, get out there. Ryan Moorhead, yeah, we're going to have you two.
We're going to go with the Ryan line.
You guys can play, just play wherever you want.
Figure it out, guys. Which game plan? I don't care.
Yeah. It is, it's been interesting with how many moves we've seen. You know, typically, this offseason was insane. And then after the first couple events, it got crazy again, especially with the, with the Latin Saints story and how that roster got completely demolished. But now then rebuilt with a bunch of Latin players. They'll be playing this afternoon, so we'll give you guys some more information.
Yeah, really good group of guys. Fun group of guys. They got a long road ahead of them, obviously, starting off at the bottom and working their way up. But they have a lot of potential.
Nothing to lose, right?
Nope, nothing to lose. All upside.
Because they did take that second place at the first event, don't need to worry about getting relegated.
Nope.
So they have a lot of tournaments to learn the pace out here, and I mean, that's really the big difference in these. You know, there's thousands of paintball players here, and all these different divisions, but the huge difference between pro and everyone else, it's not really necessarily the athleticism. It's just the paintball IQ and the timing. That's the huge difference. So we'll see if they can do it this afternoon. Jumping into this next one. 5:30 to go. 2-point spread here. DMG from the blue side. AC Diesel from the red side. Give a 5-on-5 break.
Does get to the Dorito first, Matt.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right, as we see all these teams, the 20 pro teams take the field today. Who are going to be the teams that are willing to risk going out wide, right? A little bit more than some of these other teams.
Right. Well, if you're down by 2 points, you got to more likely you have to take that.
Yeah,
risk.
DMG really doesn't have a choice right now. They have to play offense.
Shane House sliding into that snake insert bunker.
Got Gonzalez right behind him. Gonzalez looking inside. Shane looking like he wants to move.
Yeah, so it's a little untraditional in the sense where you put a guy in the corner to draw the gun out, and the snake guy fills from the inside a lot, not necessarily from the corner. As, of course, I say that the Diesel guy fills from the corner. Oh, Gonzalez is shot out of the corner, which allowed him to do that. That makes sense. Diesel with 3 over here, Matty. Snake 50, snake insert, and the juice box. Going to make it really hard for Shane Howe to have success on this side.
Is that what we're calling that bunker now?
The juice box?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a juice box, doesn't it?
You can tell you're a dad.
Shane Howe is getting a very close check on his show and is getting a penalty for the hit on the back of his cleat.
Tough break here for DMG.
Yeah.
But does open the door for Diesel in this one to extend the lead.
Yeah,
Try to finish this one quick.
Yeah, with 3 guys over here, too.
Oh, if I'm Diesel, I want to kind of slow play this point.
For sure.
Take
Stretch out as long as you can,
take
right?
as much time off the clock, put that extra point up, wait for the concession, and sure enough, there it comes. As DMG concedes that point to preserve the time. They're going to need it now. Down by 3. Got a little bit of time, these 2 minutes to talk about this next set. Edmonton Impact, ranked 1st overall. Going to be taking on Thunder. And then the New Orleans Hurricanes playing your boys, New York Extreme. And again, lots of stories out here. We didn't see Thunder at the last minor event. So with the new construction of that roster this year with 5 players from Thunder and 5 from the Brooklyn Bears.
I heard some of them didn't make practice, too.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, last weekend, Thunder guys didn't show up.
Yeah, I was talking to Scotty Graham, and also he didn't know if he was going to have his gear in time.
Ah,
the airlines lost his gear. It's always a
We'll be fine.
They're sitting there the day before the tournament. The airline's like, we think we found your bag. Yeah, we think we can have it there by tomorrow.
Are you guys anywhere near Singapore?
Yeah. Yeah, Qatar, right? That's where you guys are at? Oh, Philly? Oh, ooh. Yeah, about that.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, so, and they had a pretty good look at the first event, considering how new that team was.
Yeah.
They're ranked, after the first event, it was 12th. And, yeah, they lost 3 games. They went 1-3. But they had it just a -2, 19 points for, 21 against. That's a pretty good showing for merging 2 teams in your very first event.
Yep.
So this will be the second time we get to see them again. They were not in Texas, but they draw Impact first.
Yeah, it's a tough draw.
And then the Hurricanes with New York Extreme. Extreme, a lot more bodies, a lot more health on the squad right now. You get Carl back.
I just like the Hurricanes and the Extreme matchup just because it's the exact opposite. One is cool, calm, and collective. The other one is complete chaos.
Yeah.
And those two are going to smash together. We're going to see whether the chaos prevails.
For the record, it's Extreme with the chaos.
That's
you can
right.
tell by the name.
That's
and
right.
even though the Hurricanes, it's a chaotic name, but they don't play like like their namesakes. That is a very controlled team. How could you look at how the Hurricanes have done and not be impressed?
Yeah, and again, I think it's because they're so calm, cool, and collective, right? They're not frantic. They're not losing their S all the time. They just go out there and do what they're supposed to do. If it doesn't work out, they just kind of objectively make those changes.
Rookie pro squad. The Hurricanes are currently ranked 10th overall out of 20 teams. They took 6th at the last event.
Pretty amazing.
That's impressive.
Pretty amazing.
They went 3-1 in the prelims, and
Good
they
job,
lost Impact
guys.
by 3.
Yep.
But it's just unbelievable, man. Can't wait to see how they do out there.
Okay, so Diesel tries to go snake on the break for the first time and gets caught. Still DMG. Oh, and tries to go another one and gets caught as well.
Yeah, Diesel on the blue side, doubling up that back center. They do have a running referee, more like a jogging referee to come in. Anytime you see the running or jogging referee, it's a little scary.
Yeah, he sees something. He's just not sure where it is. He's continuing to search the player in the can. Looks like he's clean. So Diesel with all 5 in the pocket. Hard pocket for Diesel, up by 2 bodies and up by 3 points here with a little bit more than 3:30 left in this match.
Diesel, the 3-point lead, is trying to burn clock right now and solidify this lead. Yeah, sure, would they love to have another point for that spread? Point margin. You get 4 games in the prelims, and it looks like another concession here for DMG.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I can see that, Matty. I think Diesel would just let this clock play down, and you kind of protect your margin.
Well,
right?
and also, yeah, same conversation we're always having, right?
Yeah.
But which is a conversation that must be had.
Well, and it's never the perfect answer, right? Like you're making the best decision you can with the information you have.
Rough both ways. So in this situation, because DMG is currently ranked 20th, you can't end the year at 20th because you get relegated down to the semi-pro division. Now they're taking steps to assure they went after players in the break between the tournaments. They got Zach Hill on the squad.
Yeah, that's
a huge pickup. But in this situation, if you don't have a lot of time left, protecting that margin, meaning do not lose by a ton, right?
Right.
Because you get 4 prelim matches, and it almost always shakes out that you need to be, if you're 2-2 with a +1 or a +2, then you typically will go on. If you have a negative point spread, even with 2 wins,
never.
you're not gonna be going on. But yeah, just every point's crucial out here, and so that's kind of the question is like, okay, well, do you concede that, take it to a 4-point spread? Because then what happens if Diesel comes out, wins 1 more? Now it's a 5, that's a blowout. It's not a mercy rule loss, which is 6, but still, this is the conversation. But again, they don't have a coach right now.
Right, and then also for standings, right? Like every point you lose, that might be 1 lower spot, which makes you closer to that 20th spot that you don't want to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's another webcast going on the WNXL females out there playing. Looking forward to seeing who's going to contend with Dallas Vibe, who won the first event, and then the semi-pro division is also pretty crazy. So
I told the Dallas Vibe girls to retire.
I'm like,
listen, I'm not telling you guys what to do, but I have a lot of experience. You can quit right now, the best female team in the world. Yeah. I'm like, you might lose the next match, and you can't ever take that back.
They're having way too much fun.
That
team's they're having way too much fun. There's no way that those girls are all smiles. They're super stoked to be here. So
yeah, they seem like they're enjoying themselves.
It's always like those, it's like the Salty Pro guys, obviously completely different because we just started the WNXL. But you'll see some of these Salty Pros, like a couple of Revo guys, like, if we ever win, that's it, we're retiring on the podium. I'm like, you're a liar. You're not going to do that. You say that because you haven't won yet.
That's right.
Once you win, it gets even more addictive.
Everything makes sense all of a sudden.
So now
DMG with a big bite, but they lose their first attack on the Drew side, Matty. 4-on-5 advantage here early on for Diesel, although running ref on the Diesel side of the field. Looks like Baginski's getting a check over there. Iceman is okay.
Yeah, again, Diesel they'd love to take this 4-point win right here.
Yeah, they'd love to make it 5 if DMG wants to run into guns. I think DMG should just cross it up, shoot their guns, let the 3 minutes go, and don't lose it with any more than a 4-point margin.
Well, they're trying to risk it, and they're playing kind of that sloppy, aggressive attack paintball right now, and it's costing them bodies. They do get a kill on the inside on Mark Johnson.
Well, and the one thing Diesel is doing, in my opinion, wrong is they're staying in the pocket, because you can zone this field up, but you cannot zone it up from the pocket. You got to get some penetration outside. You got to get to the snake insert or the snake corner, the Dorito 1 maybe, or the Dorito 2 over there.
Yeah, they now get into D1. Hill's looking for it.
Yeah.
Hill's way past the 50 and just searching for kills. And they've had enough of that. Here comes Diesel to drop the hammer.
Nice release there.
Yeah, that was a nice release. He's going to get that other kill as they have not picked him up, and there's only 1 body left to pick him up.
Yeah, so for me, for DMG, I mean, I don't think they're going to win points, right? So now they're just hurting themselves.
That was a nice little read from Horvath.
Yeah, it was a great read.
Yeah, because he figured out where Hill was. Hill had to die, then got the other kill, too. So
a little bonus.
A little 2-pack from the veteran, Andy Horvath. This is a relatively new pickup here for AC Diesel. He's had just also, it's just tough, trying to keep a core group together for a couple years is difficult.
That's what I feel like with New York is now we finally have a good enough group of players where we're competitive. Now we've just got to keep them together and keep them positive for long enough that they can start gelling together and playing as a team. That is always the challenge.
Well, they are going to hit the towel, so we will see another point. DMG now, the issue is keep that mercy rule loss off your record. For Diesel, looking pretty good, though. I mean, it wasn't, yeah, first couple were close. There's been some close points, but, you know, Diesel making the most of this match in a game. You know, when you play the lower-ranked teams in your bracket, you have to win those. And ideally, you would like to win them with the biggest point margin possible.
Yeah, 5 margin's great.
Because for Diesel, they're in the 4th spot in their bracket. It's Level, Heat, Revo, Diesel, DMG. So when you're sitting down at 4th and 5th, that's the game you absolutely have to win.
For sure.
And again, ideally, you want to put a huge point spread up because
It only gets harder after this.
Exactly, it's only going to get harder after that. And still, we're in full X ball. 2 minutes in between points because of the slower points that we had for Heat and Revo. If you guys are just tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. That score was 3-2 in overtime. Victory for Houston Heat, but Revo looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And next up, we have Impact taking on Thunder and the Hurricanes and New York Extreme. Again, with all the chaos in the rosters, Impact getting Alex Goldman and Justin Rabikoff back, which is huge. Talking about 2 of the best players ever to complement an already ridiculously good roster that was ranked first without them.
And how amazing for those guys that they get to have a season with the Atlanta Sage, get paid, and then have a season with Impact and get paid.
Yeah.
Double win-win.
And Impact came very as close as you can come to getting a victory without getting it, taking second place at the last event. Went through a whole overtime, went through the first one-on-one, went into that essentially a triple overtime, and it came down to Jacob Edwards beating Brandon Cornell in a one-on-one for damage to win the tournament. But that's how close Impact came. And again, without Mouse, without J-Rap. So, you know, the team just got more stout on the roster. And one of the big favorites out here. But they have yet to win a tournament this year through the first 2, but a big favorite to win this one potentially.
Yep. I'm excited to see how they play this field as well.
And in that bracket, you have Aftermath, Impact, Thunder, the New Orleans Hurricanes, and the New York Extreme. So here comes Diesel, the next 5 bodies out, try to put the finishing touches on this victory. And the only question that remains to be answered is just what is the spread going to look like after this next minute and 31 seconds. I do agree with you, Rich, though, as we were speaking on early. If I'm DMG, I probably would have let this one go when you realized that there was, what, 2:20 left, and
yep.
I can't remember what the spread was, but it was getting to be a lot to a little.
Yeah, it was 6-2, I think.
It could have been a loss with
or 5-2.
It could have been a 3 or 4 point loss instead
yep.
of this potential 6 point loss.
Yeah, it just gets, man, when you get those big margins like that, it gets so hard to dig yourself out because not only do you have to go win a couple games, but you have to win a couple games by a +3 or +4 just to be even.
Yeah. So about a minute to go here before the start of this next one. There's the leader of that squad, Mark Johnson. And we're looking at the other squad. There's Gonzalez talking to Spiegelman. There's got Boyan, the new pickup, Zach Hill, and then Shane Howe, who's been playing pro paintball since 1979.
Since it was invented.
If you had to pick one team to win this tournament, other than New York Extreme, obviously, who would you, just one name, who do you think is going to be?
Well, it's hard not to go with Dynasty.
No Frazier for Dynasty.
Oh, but they honestly, like, last event, they didn't look like Dynasty, right? I mean, it looked like a different team.
Well, one day at the last event.
Okay.
They've had one bad day of paintball in a year. And unfortunately, that cost them a Sunday.
Yep.
Because that's how bad that day was. But so jumping back into this one here, minute and 23 seconds, and here comes a real aggressive push.
Yeah,
of course.
The refs didn't see
DMG.
it, but that guy got shot in the barrel on the break.
Oh, did he? Well,
yeah.
He's past the 50-yard line right now. They got another body at the 50. This is D side.
This is what they need to be doing earlier in this match, Matty. If they'd been doing this earlier, there wouldn't be a 5-point margin right now, I don't think.
And Diesel is just in the pocket, non-stop shooting their guns, trying to get through this next 60 seconds to take the victory away from this first match. They're going to be losing a body here. So BJ Henningsberg's going to take the low. They lost another one. There goes Horvath.
Yeah, DMG needs to take advantage of this field position. Start dropping the hammer, go through the center.
And now here comes, going to try to spread the field, but another body coming off of Johnson. So DMG looking like they're going to take this point here. So
yeah,
streaking down both sides. So defense does not work in this
Not in the pocket. You got to get a little bit outside the pocket to zone it up. Otherwise, you're just too vulnerable.
So DMG getting it back a little bit here. take it back to a 4-point spread.
30 seconds left. They'll probably try to do one more fast point like that.
Yeah, so going again 2 minutes now before what should be the last point. But this game's been essentially the same since, I don't know, maybe the first 2-3 minutes. But as far as other favorites, so obviously you got Dynasty in the mix. Have to put them in there because of just how amazing. I mean, they were trying to make history.
Dynasty, Damage, Impact, Heat always have to be like any one of those guys can win any tournament.
What if we take those 4 off the board though?
I like where your head's at.
Just to make it interesting here for conversation.
Then we're talking about teams like the Russians.
Infamous,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, then we're starting to get down to, how good are the ML Kings going to look? We already saw Revo. You got Aftermath has to be in the conversation. Level.
Yeah.
I mean, Level's ranked.
I don't think Level's in that conversation yet. I mean, hopefully, eventually they're consistent. I mean, just overall package, right? Obviously, they're doing amazing things. They're doing better and better all the time, but we've got to consistently see that for them.
Yeah,
but Aftermath is definitely up there. Infamous is definitely up there.
Yeah, Level had a really bad event at the last one, but they took 3rd at the first one.
Yeah.
But Level, no Danny Schonauer here. Congratulations, they got.
Why do you keep slapping me?
You have an ant on your face. That was not a slap. Come on, I've slapped you before. You know what that feels like. That was like just I don't want a spider crawling on your face.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll see if DMG. So what we are going to see potentially here, because if they're willing to, not grind this one out, grind the time down to take the, what was it, 4-point spread before?
Yeah.
We could see for the first time the flying, hyper-aggressive, full send point for the first time at this event. See how that's going to work. Is that going to work out? It was a big push up the center, streaker out wide. Where is he going to run?
Yeah, the flying V works good on this field. Just a standard flying V.
Yeah.
Looks like DMG's just going to do their standard. Lose 2, 1 attacker on the rear side, 1 out of back center. Shane Howe is attacking snake side. Diesel does lose 1 player though, so 4-on-3 advantage here early on for Diesel. Shane Howe going inside gap on the snake to the little wing next to Gonzalez.
Yeah, and they're just really good zone control currently here for Diesel with 10 seconds left. And they're going to run into snake 1 with Roberts. Shane Howe trying to figure out how he's going to deal with that, and then he gets clipped. And that is going to do it. So Diesel doing exactly what they needed to do in this situation. We're talking about the 4th and 5th ranked teams in this division. And got to get that win because it just gets more difficult from here on out.
It's all uphill from here, boys.
You want to win that game and you want to win it big, and that is exactly what Diesel did. So going to be heading into this next set. It's going to be Edmonton Impact taking on Thunder. New Orleans Hurricanes taking on New York Extreme here at the 2022 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall, Rich Telford here on Go Sports. We'll be back.